Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Testing, testing.
Commission to order. Before we get started, I want to mention that if anybody's listening in for the North Park 2 PUD outline plan or the Trails at Robertson Farm PUD outline plan, both of those have been continued by the petitioner, so we will not be hearing those cases tonight. So Jackie, to get us started, would you call the roll?
Yes. Tron Ray Randolph. Scott Ferris.
Present.
Jeff Morris. Cheryl Munson.
Here.
Edward Ullman.
Here. You're here for now.
I'm here for now, yes.
We have a goal.
If you could, thank you.
It should go off automatically.
Okay, great. Dee Owens,
Yes.
Jerry Pittsford,
Yes.
Julie Thomas,
Yes.
Margaret Clements.
Here.
Okay, and then Chris Cockrum is not present, so we have 8 Plan Commission members, 7 in person and a quorum.
Thank you, Jackie. Could you introduce tonight's evidence for us?
Sure, I'd like to introduce the following items into the evidence. The Monroe County zoning ordinance is adopted and amended. The Monroe County comprehensive plan is adopted and amended. The Monroe County subdivision control ordinance as adopted and amended. The Monroe County Plan Commission rules of procedure as adopted and amended. And the cases that were legally advertised and scheduled for a hearing on tonight's agenda.
Move to approve. Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. A vote in favor is a vote to approve the introduction of evidence. Scott Ferris,
Yes.
Jeff Morris,
Yes.
Cheryl Munson,
Yes.
Edward Ullman,
Yes.
Dee Owens,
Yes.
Jerry Pittsford,
Yes.
Julie Thomas,
Yes.
Margaret Clements.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries 8-0.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
So moved.
Been moved and seconded to approve the agenda. A vote in favor is a vote to approve the agenda as presented. Jeff Morris,
Yes.
Cheryl Munson,
Yes.
Edward Ullman,
Yes.
Dee Owens,
Yes.
Jerry Pittsford,
Yes.
Julie Thomas,
Yes.
Margaret Clement,
Yes.
Scott Ferris.
Yes.
Motion carries 8-0.
Okay, we have 2 months worth of minutes to approve tonight, November 21st, 2023 and December 11th, 2023. Do we have a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the minutes on the agenda as proposed. Cheryl Munson,
Yes.
Edward Ullman,
Yes.
Dee Owens,
I'm sorry, but I have to split. I say yes to November 21st and I abstain because I was absent December the 11th.
I'll come back to you, Dee, but I got you down for that.
Thank you.
Jerry Pittsford,
Yes.
Julie Thomas,
Yes.
Margaret Clements,
Yes.
Scott Ferris,
Yes.
Jeff Morris.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to count that as a vote of 7-0 to 1 for one abstention since Dee's, as the motion was presented, you abstained for December, so it passes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jackie. We have no administrative business tonight, and as I mentioned, the 2 items under unfinished business have both been continued by the petitioner. So we'll jump straight into new business, which is REZ-24-3, the Hopkins rezone from Ag-RR to SR. So Ann, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you very much. So we are looking at a 7.1 acre petition site. It is a rezone request from agricultural rural reserve to suburban residential with a waiver of final hearing requested. The site is located at 7540 South Old State Road 37. This is located in Clear Creek Township, Section 8, and is currently unplatted. So the current zoning map shows that the petition site is made up of 3 parcels and is 1 legal lot of record. It is split zoned between Ag-RR and suburban residential SR. The comprehensive plan identifies this area as rural residential and is consistent with all the adjoining properties. The site is currently developed with a single-family residential home and one accessory structure, a detached garage. The property maintains a large portion of buildable area, which is considered area that are slopes and 15% or under, with steeper slopes as you move towards the west. The access is off of South Old State Road 37 and kind of slightly up an embankment. So the petitioner has filed a 3-lot administrative type E subdivision. So just a quick overview, a type E administrative subdivision is where no new lots are created. Existing legal lots of record are reconfigured. So under their proposed administrative subdivision, which is shown in Exhibit 2, we can see what they're proposing. It includes the petition site, a property directly to the north addressed as 7510 South Old State Road 37, and it also includes the property then north adjacent, which is owned by Souls Harbor Apostle Church. They are proposing to reconfigure these 3 lots so that the petition site, the single-family residential home, is contained on 1 lot and is about 1.5 acres, a little under 1.5. The small Souls Harbor Church lot to the north becomes kind of a larger lot that maintains the majority of the current petition site, with the lot that has the church buildings for Souls Harbor having a little bit of an increase in acreage. So they're proposing that lot 1 would be 6.21 acres and would remain split zoned agricultural, rural reserve, and SR. And that lot 2, the proposed lot 2 that contains the existing single-family residential structure, would be 1.39 acres. So they're proposing that with this rezone, that 1.39 acre lot would be fully zoned suburban residential. You can see the proposed configuration with the proposed zoning under Exhibit 3. So just to zoom in, this is what their current proposal was. Upon review, this lot configuration of lot 2, as it stands, we would not be able to create this lot with this split zoning. So at minimum, it would require the zoning map amendment, this rezone. So to remain split zoned as is, the proposed lot would need to meet the minimum Ag RR minimum lot size. So that would be 2.5 acres. So the intent of this lot line adjustment is to expand the buildable area of the adjacent property so that they can pursue the construction of another single-family residence. So that would be a new single-family residence on the back western half of the petition site. So this is, they're pursuing this lot line as they state, because this is kind of based on the existing vegetation. There's a couple different rows of evergreen trees, but right now the existing established row of pines kind of creates a kind of a natural backyard for this existing single-family residence. And that's kind of their intent with this design. And I'll let the petitioner expand on that a little bit more. So just large diagram of this is the current zoning, again, with the proposed lot line shift in the future. Now in Exhibit 3, you can see the administrative subdivision with this rezone request included. So lot 2 would be fully SR. So SR would expand to, it would expand, or the area would increase by 0.62 acres. And that's the rezone request in front of you, a 0.62 acre rezone. So I've got another diagram. This is their proposal. This would be after the administrative subdivision. So I'm going to run through some photos here. This is the existing residential structure on the site. This is the existing driveway. So property looking east. So this is kind of that backyard area which we're talking about, and then it kind of curves to the left around those shrubs. That's kind of feels very much like a natural backyard for this home right now. This is looking farther west, looking back towards the home. There is that natural backyard area. And then here would be the area that they would want to pursue this lot line shift and rezone. That would be this new meadow in the background would be where they'd want to pursue building another residential structure. So we're currently looking west, directly west from South Old State Road 37. The area on the left is the existing church-owned lot where you can see the gravel driveway and stumps cleared. Before the lot was cleared, there was a dilapidated residential structure on the property. The church removed it years ago, and it's been sitting there pretty much vacant for some time now. That driveway has been existing, but they've added some new gravel. On the right, we can see the church, the Souls Harbor Church and their entrance and those structures. So this is looking east back from the adjacent small church-owned property. So this would be the entrance area for the lot that would remain split zoned. We do have some comments from the highway project engineer about the right-of-way permits. They did request, it was allowed, they have the right to request right-of-way activity permits at the time of a rezone. They did have some comments. They would like to see one of the existing 3 driveways to be reconfigured. We don't necessarily see this as being a large issue for the rezone, as the highway department has the full capacity and authority to work with the petitioner on the configuration after the rezone. So with that, staff recommends forwarding a positive recommendation for the rezone request from agricultural rural reserve to suburban residential for the 0.62 acres based on the findings of fact with the following conditions. Number 1, receive approved right-of-way activity permits from the Monroe County Highway Department. And number 2, record the administrative subdivision petition number SAD 24-3. Does anybody have any questions?
Yep, Commissioner Thomas.
Yes, can you walk through? This was very confusing for me. I don't know if it was just me, because sometimes you get a mental block, but even after going out there, it's very confusing to me.
Yeah.
So there will now be 3 lots.
So there are 3 lots.
There are 3 lots, and there will be 3 lots.
Correct.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So it's the same number of lots, right? This is probably the most helpful map.
Okay,
is the
good.
one that's up.
I did
So,
read. I wasn't sure, so I put it at the end. So this is how they exist now.
right.
So what we see is the purple lot becoming smaller to contain the existing home, and that red legal lot status, which is really small right now, and it had that dilapidated house getting larger and encompassing that western meadow.
So obviously the church lot is not, it's there, but it's
It's not involved with the rezone,
Right.
but it is involved with the administrative subdivision. They are gonna get a little bit,
they're gonna gain.
yeah.
Okay. So here's the thing, is there a way to do this to avoid a split lot? Like to leave, just because that's just so, you just kind of feel like you're leaving a grenade for the next generation of plan commissioners.
Yeah. We expect that these split zoned lots will be addressed under the CDO.
Okay.
We don't really see an issue with the uses in this area.
And well, then I do have a question for the petitioner, but so the red lot will become what size? The lot that's outlined in red becomes what size? 0.62.
No, 6.2.
6.2.
It would become lot 1.
Yes.
Okay. And then and then the purple lot
1.3.
1.3. Now, if you have 6.2, why would you need to make that SR?
It's not the large lot that's necessarily concerned because they have,
But you're splitting it.
It's actually already been split. So
Okay.
the only area that would technically become more non-conforming
Mhm.
is actually not involved with the rezone.
Right.
So in theory, the rezone's not making anything more non-conforming.
Mhm. I mean, I like this idea overall. I mean, let's just state that at the outset. I'm not arguing against doing this. It does visually, it makes a lot of sense, right? I'm just trying to think through, I think the thing we want to avoid is that bigger red lot becoming 6 to 12 housing developments if it becomes SR. And that would be with this, potentially with the CDO, of course, but you know what I'm saying? I'm not sure why we want to do a split zone here.
The red lot is not increasing in the amount of SR.
Mhm.
It's only the purple lot that's gaining a bit of SR, and it will not be able to be subdivided again since it would be at 1.3
Mhm.
acres.
Mhm.
Can you Go
Um,
back to that picture, please. We're talking about the red lots. Can you go back to that picture, please, so we know what we're talking about?
Which picture?
Not
that one?
Not that one. Next. That one.
Coloring's the same on both of those.
That one. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's no, because there's an issue of sewer here, right? Is there a sewer hookup?
no, this is far south, Old State Road
That's
37.
what I thought. So, that becomes an issue, with this potential. Okay, got it. I appreciate it. I'm sure that if I had these questions, others did as well. I mean, it's fine that the church is gaining land. That's fine. I think adding that house in there makes sense. It does seem to make sense to put a house back there. Maybe they have to share a driveway. That's fine if they're good with that. But it is rather confusing.
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
Jerry?
Yeah, I just wanted to observe, I think that the opportunity for developing the 6 acres would be limited by the number of residents on a dead-end road as well. Because there's no other access point except one single road, correct?
The access point to the new buildable area that would occur with the administrative subdivision would either, it's technically up in the air, but it technically has an existing driveway that's not a dead end, so it would be a private drive. The highway department is recommending that driveway be shared, whether it's the north lot or the south.
But I think by ordinance, even though you can't have more than 4 residences on one private lane.
Off of an easement, that's correct.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Okay. And if you don't mind putting up the other color-coded map that has the lot.
Sorry, I put these so far apart. There we go.
Rookie mistake, no. So because I think I understood this at first, and then Commissioner Thomas asked some questions and I lost it, and then I think I'm still in the clear. But the true petition in front of us tonight is only about the rezone of the green that's changing to pink inside of the purple L-shaped lot.
That is correct.
Okay,
That's
there is,
outside of the pink.
so we are not really talking anything about the rezoning of the green that's inside of the red lot.
That's correct. We are looking at proposed boundaries. It's just, the administrative subdivision is only being talked about because it's giving you context as to why they're changing 0.62 acres from ag to SR. And you're right, it is in the purple lot on the screen.
But the subdivision has already occurred.
No, will not. It will be
Oh.
a condition if this rezone goes through.
Oh, okay.
At this point, the administrative subdivision cannot go through with the purple lot as this shape being split zoned.
Okay, sorry. I just want to make
No,
sure.
I'm with
Can't play the
you.
game if you don't know the rules.
I'm with you. We're good.
Okay, do we have any other questions for Ann? Thank you, Ann. We will turn now to the petitioner's representative. You'll have 15 minutes if you could come up and sign in and state your name.
But you have to refer to colors.
In multiple ways.
I thought it was orange and not pink. I'm gonna start
Oh,
there.
Nobody's colorblind. Yeah. If you say you're colorblind, you're done.
I'm Eric Decker with Decker Land Surveying. I'm here to represent the petitioner this afternoon. I want to thank staff for their report. Well done, and I'll try to answer some of your questions. Thank you. So, the intent of this, and I think that that's what a lot of you are kind of alluding to here, is what is the intent and why do we have the configuration that we've got? Well, the first thing is the smaller lot that we're asking for the rezone to occur in. They would like to have that lot a little larger because it just feels natural to go to those pine trees like staff had mentioned to you. So that was one of the reasons that we're asking for this rezone. Now, as far as the type E administrative and the lot configuration and the intended use, currently the northern portion of this type E is owned by the church. The pasture is the Hopkins, the large tract, the 6.21 acres here. And he wants to have a residence here close to the church. He doesn't really have any desire to do any subdivision or future development here. That's the reason that he doesn't have any desire of wanting to change the rezone that is currently a split rezone, because he doesn't necessarily want to have more future subdivision back there, because it is a nice private little area if you've been out there on the site. The reason for the church absorbing part of the small lot and then he absorbing the other portion of this lot, which is found near the north corner of lot number 1, was access. There was an access point there that's been there for decades, and that's been a safe way in and out without cutting a large chunk off of the highway right away. That was the reason for this configuration and making his lot larger. But if you've got any questions.
Else, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I have one question for you. Does the pastor own the lot that's in purple?
He does own that lot. Yes.
Okay, I was asking from the standpoint of that lot losing land. I just want to make sure it was the same owner.
Yeah,
Okay.
so actually that lot is expanding, so that we're referring to lot number 2, the one that is kind of the sideways looking L, right? For the shapes instead of colors, I guess.
Are there any other questions for Mr. Decker? Okay, thank you, Mr. Decker. It doesn't look like we have any additional questions for you, so I don't think we have anybody in the room from the public, but if we have anybody on Teams who is here to speak in favor of this, please raise your virtual hand. Not seeing anyone. If we have anyone on Teams who's here to speak against this, please raise your hand. Not seeing anyone, we'll turn back to the Plan Commission. Is there anyone who has any thoughts or comments or questions on this? Not seeing anything. Does anybody have a motion they'd like to make? Please.
I'm prepared. Sorry, I'm prepared to make a motion. I need to bring the document up in front of me. I've got it here. Thank you. In case number REZ-24-3, this is a petition for a rezone request from Ag Rural Reserve to suburban residential with the request for waiver of final hearing located at 7540 South Old State Road 37, consisting of 7.1 plus or minus acres in Clear Creek Township. I recommend that staff forward a positive recommendation for the rezone request from Ag RR to SR for the 0.62 acres based on the findings of fact and with the following conditions. And with a waiver of final request included in this motion. And based on these following conditions: 1, that petitioner receive approved right-of-way activity permits from the county highway department as necessary, and 2, that they would record administrative subdivision SAD-2 24-3. That is my motion in whole.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded to approve to send a favorable recommendation to the county commissioners for REZ 24-3, along with a waiver of final hearing with the conditions stated, receive approved right-of-way activity permits from the Monroe County Highway Department as necessary, and 2, record administrative subdivision SAD 24-3. A vote in favor is a vote to send a favorable recommendation to the county commissioners. Edward Ullman,
Yes.
Dee Owens,
Yes.
Jerry Pittsford,
Yes.
Julie Thomas,
Yes.
Mark Clements,
Yes.
Scott Ferris,
Yes.
Jeff Morris,
Yes.
Cheryl Munson.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries 8-0.
I think I'm gonna move that we adjourn.
Unless there are
Second.
reports.
First, do we have any reports from legal or planning? Okay. now we'll take your motion.
That is a record.
Is there a second?
Lordy.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for your
Unanimous
presence.
second. Happy spring.
Thank
I
you.
need
It
to
is spring
schedule,
now.
I
It
need
is
to
now
schedule
spring.
extension events on Tuesday nights more often.
Yeah.